And speaking of, we're going to, for the next few weeks, have somebody say a little something about why Calvary matters to them and what this season of annual giving means. Jehl is going to come up as one of our co-leaders of this effort this year and say a little something.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, which is probably the majority of you, I am Jehl. My amazing wife, Lisa, who's over here in the third row, and our dear friends, Tom Barzizza and Holly Guthrie, sitting on the back row. We are your chairs this year for this year's annual giving campaign. A little background on us. The four of us are all relatively new to Calvary. We're all downtowners, but about the time we joined Calvary, the pandemic hit, so we weren't here very often. We also, the four of us, spent a little time in Heber Springs, Arkansas together. But Lisa and I raised our two boys at Holy Communion out east, which is where I was confirmed almost 50 years ago. It'll be 50 years this coming spring. And that's not one of those things you really think about all the time. But when I was sitting down to put these in, I was like, oh my God, I'm not that old. But I guess I am. However, I've got some roots here at Calvary. My mother and her two sisters grew up at Calvary, and my cousin Betsy Kelly and her husband Ed raised their family here. So got a little bit of Calvary in my blood. Lisa and I moved downtown 10 years ago, as I said, so we started visiting Calvary, and after just a few visits and a few of Scott's amazing sermons, Catherine wasn't here yet, we fell in love with the place and the ministry Calvary has down in downtown Memphis. As Tom so eloquently penned in our letter to the congregation, Calvary is simply a gem. A unique community of people from all walks of life, a community of diversity, of openness, and generousness of heart. It's this community, our incredible staff, and our diverse ministries that are made possible by our annual giving. We know that many of us made personally substantial commitments to the capital campaign, but as a community, we can't let those commitments divert our eyes from the needs that are met by our annual giving. Inflation the last couple of years has hit all of us very hard, and our beloved Calvary is no exception. As we also noted in our letter, our outstanding staff did not receive raises this past year, so they were hit with a double whammy, both inflation and no cost of living adjustment. Also, our little piece of Eden right here at the corner of 2nd and Adams is beautiful, but it takes our ongoing financial commitments to keep her in the best possible shape. The goal of this year's annual campaign is twofold. First, to ensure that the 234 households that pledged in 2023 renew their pledges and, where possible, to increase those amounts. And second, our goal is to increase participation by 10% for 2024. That's an additional 23 new pledges. Of course, we know that some families have moved away and we've lost some beloved members during the past year. So in reality, we need more than 23. Let's shoot for 30. How about that? That'll get us closer to full participation. And we know that some of us have more resources than others, but please remember, every gift, no matter the size, is cherished. We encourage those who give regularly but have not pledged in the past to please consider making a pledge this year so that our vestry can more confidently budget for 2024. Last but not least, we need your pledges sooner rather than later, so that the vestry can wrap up the budgeting process in early December. Therefore, we're asking for your pledges to be submitted by November 22nd. Thank you for your time, and I hope you will join Lisa and Holly and Tom and I in submitting pledges for 2024. And I especially hope you'll join us this afternoon at Overton Park at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much.